Hey guys, and welcome to or back to the Paws In Pursuit podcast with your host, Summer Clark. Now, how I have missed saying that. I can't quite believe I'm back. I mean, I can. I kind of knew I was eventually going to come back. But what's it been now? 4 months? January, February, March, April, May? January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, 4 months of no Paws In Pursuit podcast. I mean, I don't think I need to run through why I took the break again, because I'm pretty sure I already told you in the final episode in January. But just in case you're new here, if you've never listened to the Paws In Pursuit podcast ever before, hello, my name is Summer Clark. I am 22 years old and I'm an agility competitor. I was about to say something else then, but that is partly what this episode's going to be discussing, so I won't say it yet. I have Arrow. He is my working cocker spaniel, as most of you who follow me will already know. And yeah, I compete in agility, basically. And that's me. And that is what this podcast is basically about. Basically, oh, here we go again. I'm going to be fumbling on my words and I've only just restarted the podcast. Anyway, I'm back. I am so out of practice with podcasting. You'll probably also, so I'm so out of practice. So, if I keep fumbling on my words, etc., then just give me a few weeks to get back into it. You'll probably also realise that I am not on video. This is just audio today. And that is because I've decided to give myself a bit of space from filming myself doing these episodes. To be quite honest, one of the main reasons I stopped podcasting back in January was because it all kind of got a little bit too much. I had a lot on my plate. I had a very exciting job at the time as a social media executive, and I did believe at the time that I'd be going full time in that. So obviously I wanted to make sure that I wasn't burning out, doing too much, etc., as I was doing a podcast style series for the company I was working for. So I just didn't want to overdo it. And to be honest, I think a lot of people don't realise just how time consuming a podcast is. There's a lot to it. It's not just sitting down and talking. It is, at the time you got to plan the episode. So that took about half an hour. If you want to plan it well, then sitting down and actually recording it. And at the time I was filming myself as well. So I had to make sure I look presentable, and we don't always look presentable, do we? So that felt like more of a task. That sounds like I'm never presentable in normal life. That's not what I meant. But anyway, sometimes you just want to not be looking your best. You want to just be laid down recording. Like right now, for example, I'm just sat on my bed, lazing around. I've got Ethel beside me. I'm in my scruffs, I went out last night, so I've had a bit of a chill day. Not got up and got myself presentable as I, would say if I was going out. I went swimming at the gym, so obviously I didn't put makeup on or anything like that. To do that. So yeah, I kind of just want a bit less pressure, just to be able to just, look however I want to look while I record, and in whatever position I want to be in while I record, not sat there all professionally in front of the camera. So for now, we're just going to stick to audio podcasts. And I'm actually using the actual Spotify for Podcasters app this time to record the audio. It's really cool because you can add little flags to bits if you want to edit it. I don't normally edit it, but who knows, that's kind of cool. So I'm doing that. There's also a nice little timer in front of me, so I know how long I've been rambling. But anyway, yeah, welcome back to me, I guess. Welcome back to the Paws In Pursuit podcast, and I'm so excited to get started again. So let's start with, well, first of all, I have a lot of things to recap you all on, like a very silly amount of things to recap you all on. I'm going to start with agility, because that is what this podcast is about. That is why you are all here, really, is agility. So let's rewind, okay? We're going to rewind back to January. So when I decided to stop podcasting, it was mid-January of this year. And I had basically been diagnosed with Achilles tendonitis, which is fantastic. If anyone doesn't know what that is, your Achilles is like the back of your heel bit. And basically, I was having quite a bit of pain in that for a few months. Like, it felt like something was rubbing on the back of my heel. Like when I wore certain shoes, it kind of just felt like the skin was rubbing raw every now and again. Not constantly, but every now and again. And when I was running, like street running, I'd get like a the occasional shooting pain in the bottom of my heel when my foot made impact with the floor, usually at the end of a run, which was a bit concerning, but I kind of just thought, oh, it's part and parcel, of being active, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this carried on, and I kind of thought, oh, this is weird. I'm going to have to do something about it. So I Googled it, Achilles tendonitis. I was like, oh, bollocks, let's hope I don't have that. So I went to my osteo. I already was seeing an osteo for my back anyway, which I still am. The OGs will know I used to and still sometimes do have a bit of a dodgy back for whatever reason. But, regular osteopath appointments have sorted that out. Anyway, so I went to him and he was like, yep, Achilles tendonitis, and basically prescribed no running until it was better, which usually takes, lo and behold, around 3 to 4 months. 4 months later, I finally got the all clear, but again, we'll talk about that later. So yeah, I just sat there and I was like, this is fantastic. Like, sorry, I can't run. I am an agility competitor for a start. My main hobby is the gym and running. Luckily, I could still do all my weight training, so that's fine. Literally, the only thing I couldn't do is running, which obviously is a very big part of what I do as an agility person. So I basically had to walk around every agility course that I did with Arrow until it was better. And, all of you that have seen Arrow run know he is extremely fast. And I like to think I'm quite quick as well to be able to get there for him. And I suddenly had to walk around the course, so there was no chance of me ever keeping up with him. So I resorted to learning to distance handle, which, looking back now, I'm really glad I did. I think it actually helped me become a better handler, and helped Arrow be a more independent, confident agility dog as well, and listen to my cues more than my body language sometimes, because he used to be a dog that would only really, wouldn't really matter what I said. If I was pointing to it and my body was there and, my shoulders and feet were turned in the right direction, he'd pretty much follow that. And sometimes he just wouldn't listen to what I actually was saying. So I feel like that actually did help him start to listen to my cues a little bit more, which was good. But at the time, I was so frustrated. I was so down in the dumps. Another reason why I kind of backed off the podcast, socials, everything, obviously didn't do many shows, just kind of backed off the whole world because I was just fed up, to be honest. I was like, great, I'm an agility competitor and I can't run. So I had a little bit of an identity crisis there and just thought, you know what, I need a break. I need to back off a little bit with everything, related for a little while. Obviously, my osteo told me that the judging was not a good idea because you're basically standing up and walking around on that Achilles for hours and hours and hours at a time, and it's unnatural. That's not an usual thing to do, is it? So I couldn't judge either, and that was really disappointing for me because I just kind of got properly into it. I was getting judging appointments, having them requested for the summer and stuff, and I was having to say, I can't judge anymore basically until I know this is healed. So that was shite, basically, to put it frankly. So that happened. I was distance handling, agility, and not judging, basically. But my main goal was to be able to run at the Open Showcase, which was February. And I've been told I couldn't run, but my osteo said, you know what? You can run at that important event as long as that's all you do. Like, just do, because obviously I knew I had the Team GB process and Crufts. And I was like, I just want to be able to run at those two things. And he was like, that's fine, we can get you to do that as long as you don't do anything in between. So I did manage to run at Open Showcase, luckily pain-free. I had to change my footwear because my agility shoes were rubbing worse than my non-agility shoes. So luckily it was at Dog Sports Derby and I could wear my normal trainers with not a lot of grip. If it had been outside, I would have been buggered. But anyway, it wasn't, so it's fine. Same with Crufts. So I did that, and we had the Open Showcase, which I'm happy with how it went. I was happy with how it went. This is such a long time ago. It's weird that I'm catching up with you about it now. It feels like last year, but it wasn't. Anyway, I was happy with how it went. Didn't get a load of clears, obviously, but, he did show some really good skills. And I thought at the time he basically showed himself off well to the management, as did I as a handler. So I was overall pleased. And we did get through to the tryout weekends after that. So that was successful. And we were through to the 2 Team GB tryout weekends. one was before Crufts and the other one was after Crufts. So that was more things to be able to obviously run for. So I had to also ice my Achilles every day for 15 minutes, which wasn't too much of a problem. I just did it when I was like about to go to bed, for example, just laid in bed, feeling sorry for myself probably at the time. It's been a rough few months, guys, all right? Mental health has been not there. But anyway, we're fine now. So we had that. I'm doing this in order. I've written my little notes. So we were through to the trike weekends. But before they happened, I broke my Ogilvy dog's virginity. I've never been to Ogilvy Dogs before, and I went to train him there. And it's amazing, isn't it? For a start, it's pink. Who doesn't love a pink agility venue? So that was mega. Just thought that was a bit of a milestone. Like, I don't know how that was the first time I went there. Did lots of training at Dog Sports Derby, obviously, with that being the venue for all the GB stuff. And we just wanted to get as much astro training done as possible. So then we had the first GB trike weekend. You know, again, very similar to Open Showcase. Not the best results on paper, but, as far as coming in, say, top 3 clears, whatever. But again, I think he performed really well, so I was chuffed. Then we had Crufts. Now, this is big. This is very big. And most of you will know what happened to us at Crufts, but I'll run through it anyway, just for any newbies to the pod. So on the Thursday of Crufts, we had the Jumping Cup and we won the semi-final. So that meant that we had our debut in the main arena. Now, running at Crufts in the main arena has been a huge goal of mine for a very long time, probably since I got ill when I was like 8 years old and found out Crufts was a thing. So that was incredible. Like, I was just thinking, I'm just so glad, that's a bucket list item checked off for me, is run in the main arena at Crufts. So that was mega. And then he went on to have the fastest time in the final with just a pole. So obviously I was gutted, but I was just so chuffed with the whole situation, knowing that he'd had the fastest time as well. It was just a mega day and I was really chuffed. Anyway, we then went on to have the Agility Dog of the Year the next day. So Agility Dog of the Year semi-final, which we also won. So I was like, oh my God, no way. We're now going in the main arena twice in one Crufts. My bucket list was to do it once and we're already doing it twice, like back to back. So that was cool. So we went in the main arena. I was in love with that course. That course was incredible. I loved everything about that Agility Dog of the Year final course. I was so excited to run it. Obviously nervous, but we went in there and we did our thing. And guys, as you probably know, we bloody won it. We won the YKC Agility Dog of the Year final at Crufts in the main arena. Even saying it still gives me like a nice like a warm feeling, like a surreal warm, oh my God feeling. Like, I will literally never forget it. It was the best run me and Arrow have ever done together, and we chose to do it in the most important run that we've ever done in our lives. And we won against all heights. I honestly was in shock. I remember I did the run, obviously knew that we were, gonna finish quite highly because of how fast his time was. But there was obviously still a lot of dogs to go, including large, intermediates and larges. And honestly, I couldn't sit there and just watch everyone. I couldn't do it. I went outside, hugged everyone, blah, blah. And then I was like, I'm going to have to go to the toilet. I'm just going to have to go somewhere. So I left and I went to the toilet and I kind of just sat on the toilet. I remember I sat on the toilet for like 2 minutes, like borderline shaking, like still like on this high, thinking, that just happened. That's so bizarre. That just happened. And I was wearing my bright red cap as well. So like I was walking out to the toilet and people were looking at me smiling. I was thinking, oh my God, what's just happened? Anyway, I went back and they'd nearly finished. I wasn't in there that long, guys, by the way. I wasn't just sat on the toilet for like half an hour, but I did take my time. I just needed to like compose myself. Went back in, they'd nearly finished, and turns out we'd won it. And I cannot even tell you the feeling. And then we went and got our presentation in the main arena and did our lap of honour to the music, the lap of honour music. And it was just something I'll literally never forget. I could not be prouder of Arrow and myself as well, like dealing with the nerves, after the setback of the Achilles. And, I wasn't in a great space as far as, mentally or emotionally. I was struggling with it all really because of that and what had happened. But yeah, that was amazing. Best day of our life so far, for sure. And then weirdly enough, the same day we had another class. So we had the ABC agility back in the YKC ring. So it was weird because I felt like we should be done by then, if that makes sense. So after that win, I was like, I feel like that's us done for the day, go celebrate. But we actually had another class. So we went back to the YKC ring and we competed in the ABC agility, and we also won that as well. For anyone who doesn't know, ABC is anything but collie. And we won that as well, which was, I was just like, what is going on? What is actually going on? So that was that. And then the next and final day of Crufts, which was the Sunday, we were in YKC Pairs Agility, and we were doing that with Millie Youngs and Jess. Shout out. I've actually had Millie on the podcast before, so go check out that episode with her, all about being a student agility handler. Millie is actually she's at WAO competing in the Netherlands right now, so shout out, good luck, go smash it. Actually, when this goes live, I'm not sure when this is going live, actually. I haven't decided. It's Wednesday today, but I don't want to put pressure on it at all ever again anymore. So I'm like, I'll probably just record it today and then edit it and get it up next Wednesday. But maybe if I'm feeling productive, then I'll get it up for tonight. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent again. So yeah, we won that. And that meant that Arrow had got he won every single class at Crufts with a clear, bar one, and that one that he didn't was only a pole. So he technically didn't make any mistakes whatsoever and won everything except that one. Like, I never thought that'd happen in my entire life. So it was just the best Crufts ever, and to be honest, I don't think it'll ever be topped, but I don't want to say that actually. No, I want to be positive. I will top it one day. We'll go in the main arena for like champ or singles or something like that, or ABC. And yeah, so that was Crufts. And then what else did we do? Oh, we had an interview with Paleo Ridge, and we had an interview with, I don't know who it was, but it was just some guy that interviewed me when I came out the ring. And the funniest thing happened, because I was so flabbergasted after the whole experience. He said, how old are you? And I went, good, thanks. So I thought he said, how are you? So that was my interview with the Kennel Club man at Crufts. In the backstagey bit, which was also insane, by the way. Although I couldn't see anything because the lighting was so weird. But anyway, so that was that. And then I got an email a few days later and had an email interview with a lady from the Kennel Club magazine. I think it's called Kennel Gazette or something. And then we got sent it a few weeks later, and our story was basically in the Kennel Gazette, which was awesome. Moment of fame there as well. So that pretty much sums up Crufts. And as if I wasn't already on enough of a high, after that whole experience, a few days later, I think it was a week, we found out that we had been selected for Agility Team GB. Now, it's another thing that I still can't believe. I know that we had the potential, but I was almost like, I feel like he just needs another year or two to get more consistency and stuff. But no, we were chosen. So we'll be running at the EOs in the UK this August, which is absolutely insane, 1st of August. And it's coming around so insanely quickly, and I'm so excited. But again, that's another huge bucket list thing that I wanted to achieve that I have. And all in the space of 1 month. I just, as you can probably tell by how I'm speaking, I still can't believe it. So that's amazing. We'll be competing in obviously both individual and team events at EO. We're part of the development squad. So, that's more agility dogs and handlers that have real potential for future years, not putting too much pressure on them for this year to actually medal, but just to mainly gain experience this year at the event for future years to hopefully medal. So that's nice, takes a bit of pressure off as well. So I'm just really excited to get that experience. Obviously, most of you know I competed for YKC Team GB for 3 years, but getting selected for the adult team is just something else entirely that I didn't think I'd achieve for a while, or at least a few more years. So that happened, and that was March. Moving on from our sort of personal agility successes, I also what do you say? I was hosted at my first training day, so I held my first training day, at someone else's venue. How do you word that? You know what I mean? So I did a training day at Nikki Hodgson's. So Unleashed Potential is her business. And that was my first ever time teaching a training day. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy teaching. Comes naturally to me. I've been told that I'm quite a good teacher by some of my friends because I am gobby and assertive, which is excellent. So no, I really enjoyed that and I would love to do it again. I got some really good feedback from Nikki's students that trained with me. So I am definitely wanting to do that again. So if anyone would like to have me at their venue, yes, please. I would absolutely love to train. Obviously, my goal eventually is to have my own venue and my own set of equipment and my own personal agility training business. But in the meantime, that was brilliant. Like, please, 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 if you have a training business or a field with equipment or whatever, please, I would love to train there. I would love to. Absolutely get me down or up, depending where you are. But usually most people are down. As my southern friends like to say, I'm very northern to most agility people. Oh, I'm about to cough. Excuse me. I have had like this weird illness for like 2 weeks. It's probably COVID, who knows, where my throat's just been weird. So let's hope I don't cough again during today's episode. So that happened. And then what else do we do? Oh, we had Scunthorpe. And we actually had the fastest time with just a pole in the Crufts ABC qualifier. So that was amazing. That, like, obviously I was gutted about the pole, but again, knowing that he has the potential and the speed there and the skills there to win a Crufts ABC qualifier is great. Like, that means it's hopefully going to happen. Well, in fact, I know it can happen. I know he has the potential. We just got to keep chasing those qualifiers. But yeah, one thing that I've decided this year for sure, and I think most people do this anyway, once you get to my level, that sounds really big-headed. I don't mean it like that. But, you know, once your dog gets to grade 7 and is competing for things like Team GB and stuff, I've decided to do slightly less competitions, but prioritise the competitions with champ and qualifiers like Crufts, Olympia, etc., which means, you know, if we don't do as many of the smaller shows, then, you know, we've got more money because agility is very expensive and time to really prioritise going maybe further afield and stopping over, maybe camping or hotelling at bigger shows with those things that we want because, you know, I'd love Arrow to get a CC. I think he can definitely do it. And I mean, we've already done Crufts Main Arena, but I'd love to qualify there in every other way too, to really relive that experience and just push ourselves to even greater heights. So that is a goal. And also another thing on the bucket list is Olympia. I would love to just experience competing out there at Olympia. The atmosphere looks insane, and that's something I would love to do with Arrow at some point. So that's what we're going to be prioritising for this season. So that's cool. Doing a lot of shows that we haven't done before as well. For example, Axstane, never done that, but it's quite a big show. I have done Thames before, but I'm very excited for that again this year with the party. That is one of the firm favourites in my agility calendar. So got lots coming up on the show diary. But anyway, yeah, I was really chuffed with that at Scunthorpe. And then we had the first official Team GB training day held at Dog Sports Derby again. So that was really cool. We got together with our teamies and we all trained together on some cool courses with the coaches, got some feedback, etc. Did some course analysis, had, you know, individual meetings to kind of discuss goals and all that fun stuff. So that was a really informative and fun day. Did some course running. It was, you know, I really liked how it was a good balance of, you know, it's a balance of actually running the courses, but then a lot of it's theory as well, like the analysing the courses aspect and sort of talking about it and thinking about it. You know, there's way more to it than just the running the courses, and that's what I really like that. I really like getting deep into it like that. I think that's fun. So that was a really super day. We've got another one later this month in May, which will be exciting. I'm looking forward to that again. Obviously, now I know kind of more about what it involves. Obviously, I'd never done it before. So I'm really looking forward to that second one. Now I know what's coming. That was cool. And then that's kind of caught I think I've caught you up now since January. And then more recently, I've got the all clear from my osteo to start judging again. My Achilles tendonitis is now in a place, well, it's pretty much gone. My Achilles is now in a place to resume judging. And obviously I'm running agility constantly now as well. Like, I'm not distance handling anymore, which is fantastic. We love to, we love that, to actually be able to do it properly again. But yeah, it really makes you take it for granted, right? If you can run and you are injury free, don't take it for granted. Please don't, because I used to. And I probably will accidentally slip back into doing it again now I'm running again properly. But honestly, just running pain-free without worrying that your body is going to break on you is a blessing. And something that I will never forget is how annoying it was to not be able to do that. So yeah, next time you're running and you're having a crap day of results, just remember, at least I can bloody run. So that's my tip for you today, my inspirational insight of the day. So yeah, I can now start judging again. So that's really exciting because I have missed it. So again, if you run a show or are recruiting judges for future shows or whatever, then I would love to judge there. I'm fully back and open for judging appointments. So I'm excited to get designing courses again, and standing out there and seeing all the cool dogs run my classes. I have really missed it. And yeah, I'm excited to be starting up that again just in time for the summer season and the nice weather. And then I think that is pretty much it on the agility front. Finally, I will just give you an update on life outside of agility, because I did used to discuss this quite a lot on the podcast and a few of you really liked that aspect of it. So circling back now to why I stopped podcasting, as I said at the start of this episode, I had this job that, in summary, I thought I was going to end up going full-time in it, okay? And that didn't happen. So I was a bit like, okay, so I, stopped podcasting and stuff so I could concentrate on this, and it never happened, which I was like, that's fine, it might just take a bit longer. Anyway, I ended up losing the job, basically getting laid off because I don't want to go into too much detail, but basically they just couldn't keep me on. Things happen. It wasn't anything to do with me. It was just the company's own sort of things going on. So I didn't have a job. Obviously, I was and am still doing my own freelance social media bits. I've got a couple of cool clients that I enjoy creating content for, and I'm really grateful to them. And I am still taking on more clients if anyone's interested. But yeah, so that happened. So then I kind of went back into my little mental spiral of, oh God, worrying, being anxious about money, especially, doing something like agility. And also, if you didn't know, going to the gym is like my other personality besides agility. I'm currently working with a PT actually to build strength and muscle, and I'm already seeing so much progress. I've only been doing that since March, 3 months, and it is insane. But obviously that's not a cheap hobby either. So I was stressing about money. However, to kind of cheer myself up, a few weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start podcasting again. Got a bit more time. I was applying for all these jobs. I was like, a bit more time, spend my time, applying for jobs and get podcasting again. I was doing some delivery driving work on and off as well, just to keep some income coming in. And, that's the good thing about having some savings, all that kind of thing. But it's stressful. A lot of you have probably been in similar positions, or who knows, but you get where I was coming from. It wasn't great. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to start podcasting again. I've got more time now. I'm not doing that job that I quit podcasting for, or mainly for anyway. And anyway, weirdly enough, after I made that decision and felt a bit more positive about everything, and, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start podcasting again. I'm going to come back to social media, because obviously I took a bit of a step away. Oh God, it's happening again. I took a bit of a step away from that, uploading as frequently, because I was just, as I said at the start, a bit overwhelmed with everything going on. I was like, no, I'm going to start podcasting again. I'm going to get back to social media. Exciting times, going to start judging again, looking to do more agility training, feeling good. And that's when I got an interview for another social media manager job. that I really wanted. I was really happy with how the interview went, but obviously you just never know, do you, until you hear back. And about a week ago, no, probably a few days ago now, from when I'm recording this, yeah, it was, I heard back and I've got the job. So I'm going to start that on Monday. That starts on Monday, which is like, oh my God, crazy. It felt like I kind of switched my mindset to a bit more positive, and then this happened. So that is incredible. So I'm going to be a social media manager again, guys. That is really exciting. But don't worry, I will keep podcasting because, you know, I think sometimes it takes stepping away from things to realise how much you miss them and how much value they actually add to your life. That sounds really cringy and cliche, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you, like I said, like with the running thing, you just take some things for granted sometimes, you know. And after stepping back from podcasting, agility a little bit. Obviously, I didn't stop doing agility, but I just stepped back a little bit. So I stepped back from agility podcasting, social media posting on my agility account and stuff, and judging. And I was like, oh, I really miss all these things, actually. I didn't think I'd miss them that much, but I did. So, you know, I'm kind of, as much as I didn't want to have to take the break from everything because of my Achilles and being overwhelmed, actually, looking back at it now, I think it was a blessing in disguise. Like, I think it helped me realise how much these things mean to me, and just help me be even more grateful that they are part of my life, if that makes sense. I'm getting really, like, deep now, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just glad to have these things, and I really want to keep doing them for the foreseeable now. Like, I think it took that break to make me realise, basically, how much I love doing all these things and how much these things make up who I am, almost, if that makes sense. So, yeah, little inspirational spiel from me there. But, guys, I think that's everything. I think that's everything for our little catch-up episode. I've been rambling for half an hour now. But that is it. My next podcast episode idea is to get you guys, I'm going to ask on my Instagram for you guys to ask me questions, so catch-up questions, anything you want to know about what's been going on for the past 4 months, you know, things that I'm doing right now, things that I have planned for the upcoming future, etc. So next week on Wednesday, obviously, because Wednesday is the day for the Paws In Pursuit podcast, as we all know. Next Wednesday, I will be answering your catch-up questions and we will get completely caught up, anything you guys want to know, and basically just get back on track to where we were before I took this extended break. Basically, well, I say extended, 4 months isn't actually very long in the big scheme of things, but it kind of feels like it. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling at you now. This is really weird, but I completely forgot what I used to say at the end of my podcast episodes. I believe it was something like this. Please do follow the Paws In Pursuit podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and review if you would like, 5 stars ideally. I believe that's pretty much what it was. I think I will, subscribe to us on YouTube just in case I do go back to doing video episodes. But I think I might also start uploading the audio to YouTube with a little background or something. That's something I'm going to look into. Not sure if that's doable, but yeah. Going to stick to audio for now. Do let me know if you really did enjoy the video version way more, if it made that much of a difference. But for now, I'm kind of enjoying just chilling with the audio as if I'm on a phone call. I kind of like that. So yeah, let me know what you think. Send me send me questions you have or anything in DMs. Just talk to me in DMs. I'm always there. That was the other thing I say. Follow me on all the socials. They will be in the description below. So go follow me there. I am making it my mission to be super active on socials again as I used to be, as I've missed it so much. Social media is another one of my passions. And as you know, my job, and I've really missed doing that in the agility world as such. So we're definitely getting back to that. So make sure you don't miss anything. Back to TikTok as well, lots of Instagram, lots of Facebook. Like I said, hopefully YouTube. I do want to do some more show vlogs and little bits like that. And I just do have a few more new exciting ideas for content, ways you guys can get involved, and also people to have on the podcast, new advances for the podcast, etc. So make sure you don't miss out on all the exciting things to come. But it was great to be back podcasting, guys. I am finishing this episode in such a good mood. This has made me feel amazing. I am a natural talker. I love to chat, and I've just missed podcasting so much. I'm so glad to be back. That was the quickest half an hour ever. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Basically, hooray for the podcast. Bye, guys.